Alrighty, and another video with the RD 2.0 Casa Drift build series. Super excited. And today we've got some good upgrades. We have the Rsst and we have the V4 Gyro. Now, I do run these in my MST actually. I know you guys probably haven't seen this MST in a while, but here it is. But yeah, I actually run this exact combo in this car. Almost the exact. This is the updated one. I have the older one in here, but yeah, so we're gonna go ahead, get these installed, endpoints set, and I'm gonna go over some of the settings too in here. I'm gonna be very brief about it. I've done 2 videos on these going over the settings, so this one's just gonna be like a quick kind of notes almost, I guess. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead, open these boxes. We'll do the gyro first, and then we'll do the servo, and then I'll go over servo settings, and then I'm actually going to the track later today, and we'll go ahead and drive it, test it out, and see how it feels. With this being a Casa Drift video, obviously, gotta give a shout out to Casa Drift for sponsoring the build. If you need anything from Casa Drift, hit them up on Facebook. Big sponsor, Joe, an employee. So we got Yokomo products, ReveD products. You can get an Accuvance products, Shibata products, a bunch of bodies over here, Addiction, HPI. You know, just a ton of stuff. Some more that's not on the walls. You see some of the Louis stuff I did. They got Louis stuff too. And then if you want some bingo stuff, it looks like he doesn't have any on the wall right now, but you can order bingo stuff for him. I think he's got the, I don't know where it went, but he's got like a little like color code thing for the bingo stuff, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, need anything, hit him up on Facebook, and you can probably get it to you. You know, he's got a lot here. And once again, thank you for Casa Drift for sponsoring the build. Did some reorganizing of some stuff real quick. Moved the ESC to the back. Moved the receiver up here. I'm gonna have to make the wires look nice and all that. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the servo real quick, which is just these 2 screws down here. And then after I remove those, I'm gonna remove them from the post, which is those screws right here. And then we'll remove the servo horn, which is right here, and there's a bolt in there probably that we gotta take out. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll get the gyro going, and the gyro will probably be placed like right about here. Not sure which orientation I want to do yet. We'll see how the wires want to lay. But yeah, I'm going to take the servo out real quick, and then we'll get on to getting this gyro set up. So as I was taking the old servo out, I do want to note something. The screw that holds in this servo horn is a Phillips head. Not only that, it is a different thread pitch than what you need for the Rsst. Fortunately, I have extra bolts just because I have a lot of other chassis and a lot of other parts ordered and all that, and so they sometimes have extra hardware in them. But if this is your first car, you might not have extra hardware, so this might be something you have to consider getting somehow. Maybe someone at your local track might have an extra one. They probably do. Otherwise, there's a bunch of like kits on Amazon and all that you can get. But yeah, just wanted to take note of that because this won't fit into here, or if you go with the make it fit route, you will destroy it. So just as a note. But yeah, as you can see, got the gyro in. A lot of people say, you know, gyro has to be dead center of the chassis, otherwise it's not going to work properly. In my opinion, it doesn't matter. I think front to back affects it a hair, but side to side doesn't. So if you have it in the middle on this side or this side, it'll function the same. But maybe if you have it closer up front or closer in back, it might be a little bit more or less sensitive. But like I said, in my opinion, I don't think it really matters. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this plugged in. So there are 3 different plugs here, as you can see. So we have the 1 wire, which we will use this when we do the remote upgrade, but for now this will be useless. We have the male plug, which will go into the receiver, and then the female plug, which will come in from the servo. So this will end up plugging into here, and then, or not this one, it'll plug into this one, and then it'll all link up into this one, which goes into the receiver. Now, if you're having an issue where your servo isn't working after you plug it in, this might be plugged in backwards. I've done it a few times. As a good rule of thumb,
this gray wire right here, if you can see that. You got the two black ones and then the gray one on the end. If we look in here, there's that little notch out. That gray one should go where the notch is cut out, right here. So if you're not sure which way it goes, just look for the gray wire, or sometimes they'll put like a little marker on the wire or something, and that's your signal wire, and then, like I said, that will go into the notch side. Now, got it all wired up. As you can see, I got it zip tied just to kind of keep the wires neat. And it is plugged into the one section on the receiver. And now, like I said, if you're not having issues with it not working or whatever, you might have it plugged in backwards. So another way I like to look at it is if you have the, I don't know what you want to call these, the connectors facing you, you have the side where they don't, the side where they do. You plug it in with them facing you, and it'll go on the notch side. So if you have them facing you, make sure the notch side's on the right. And like I said, the gyro goes into number 1. Plug that in, and you should be good to go. And it should be like that for all of them, even with the ESC. This one's nice because it has the color-coded ones. The white being the signal wire, and the signal wire goes into the notch side. ESC being 2, which we will go over in another episode. Just goes in right there. Perfect. Alrighty. Now we'll go ahead and getting this fired up for the first time with the new gyro. So I got the car plugged in. We'll go ahead and turn on the controller. And normally if we're going to set endpoints right away, we're going to, where did I put it? There's this little tool, right here, this guy right here. Let me go ahead and push down on the endpoint button here, but I want to make sure this is centered first so I can install it. So I'm going to install it with this disconnected, and then once I know it's centered, I'll put it on, I'll get the horn on, and kind of connect it all up. So to do that, got the controller on, we're going to turn on the car. And there we go. See, now the servo moved a little bit because it wasn't centered. And I just kind of give it a little bit back and forth wiggles. One thing you should do as well, actually, now that I remember, is set your trim to 0. So with this controller, you're going to go either one way or the other, and you're going to hear a double beep. So I'm not sure which way I went, so I'm going to try left first. So I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, but I'll put it next to the microphone. It's a little double beep sound. So that means it's centered on the remote, which is what you want. And now I'm going to go ahead and actually take the screws and screw this down and get this on. So I'm going to be really careful not to bump anything. Actually, I'm going to turn the car off now that I know it's centered. I'm going to go ahead, while this is still disconnected, put this as straight up and down as I can, which seems to be right there. Obviously, that will go that way. Then I'm going to take the extra screw I got, get it right in there, and tighten it down. And now that I know for sure that it's centered, I'm not really too concerned if this moved or not. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and cut to this being installed, and then we'll go ahead and get into setting endpoints and all that. Got the servo locked down into place. When you turn on the car for the first time, this might happen to you. You'll see the gyro flash, and then there's no lights on it at all. And that just means the dial in the center, if I bring this up, this right here, this dial is at 0. If you turn it to the left, you'll see this light turn green, which I will do real quick. Kind of see that. And if you turn it to the right, it'll be red. Personally, I like the green mode, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to turn this dial to about 70% roughly. So I'm going to have it going horizontal this way, towards this thumb on the green mode. And that is basically turning on the gyro. Also, probably as you can see at the resting state, the wheels are not centered. So that's something we're going to have to do just by twisting this right here, and that will bring the wheels to center, which is what we want. And then we'll go ahead and go over setting the endpoints on the gyro. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and set the endpoints on the gyro. So normally you can use this tool and end up pushing down that endpoint button right there. Focus. See. There we go. Right there. I'll zoom in a bit so you can kind of see better. Endpoint. There's a button right in there. And like I said, you can only push it down with this. But because I can't reach in there because I have a position, I'm going to use this 1.5 driver instead. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to push down on that button. Hold down that button with the controller on. And I'm going to turn on the car. And I'm going to keep holding it. And we should see some yellow lights flashing, which they are. So you'll see that yellow light flashing. Looks green on camera. And that means we can now go ahead and set the endpoints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the controller, see if I can focus over here, turn all the way. Looks like we'll need to reverse the steering as well. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So reversing the steering is pretty easy. You're going to start with the controller off and the car off. You're going to hold down this R plus button on the side, hold it down, and then turn the car, or not the car, the remote on. And you'll hear that double beep, and steering should be reversed. If we turn the car on now, there we go. Oop, a little blurry. Now steering's going the correct way, and now we can properly set our endpoints. Now, setting the endpoints, I'm going to go ahead and turn the wheel to the right. It doesn't matter which side you use first. You can do left or right first. So I'm going to go to the right, and I'm going to see, so it looks like if I give this wheel a little bit of wiggle, the wheel on the car does not move, which means I can actually turn this down. So I'm going to hit the L minus button, and now we see that the wheel moved, and then I'm going to hit L plus until it looks like it's at full lock. And what I like to do is give it a little wiggle. And if I move this steering wheel a little bit, and this moves just a little bit with the steering wheel moving, that way I know it's good. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So that's all the way at lock, and I still have a lot of wiggle room. So I'm going to hit the L minus button until it's like that, and then I'm going to just press the up button until it looks like it's at full lock, which is right about there. Give this a little bit of wiggle. You can go down a bit. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Gonna check the other side just to make sure. I'm actually gonna go down one on the other side. There we go, that's better. Alright, and now we're gonna go ahead and take the controller, turn it all the way to one side, hit that endpoint button, and then you'll see the LED flash a couple times, and then we'll go ahead and do the other side. Hit that endpoint button, see it flash a couple more times. It'll flash a bunch, and then now it's ready to go. So, gyro set, it's working, and now one thing you have to do is check to make sure the gyro is going the right direction. So, kind of move everything out the way. It's getting a little cramped. We'll clean up after this clip. If you pull the back end towards you, the front wheel should point towards you as well. So I pull it back, this points back at me, which is good. If it was going the other way, so if I pulled this back and the wheel will point that way, that means it would be backwards, which is where we would take this tool, and you'll see these little switches right here. You'll see the assist and normal switch and the normal and reverse switch. So you're just going to take that normal and reverse switch, and you're just going to kind of push it to the other side, and that will change the direction the gyro works. And it's pretty easy, and you should have a working, functioning gyro now. As I mentioned, you saw there's that assist and normal. If you really feel the need to, you could set it to assist mode, and it'll kind of maybe help you drive a little bit, but personally, I think you should just leave it at the normal mode, and it'll work perfectly fine. But yeah, so now that we got that all done, I'm going to go over servo settings and servo tuning, because this servo is tunable. You can leave it at stock settings. It actually doesn't drive that bad with stock settings, but I like to kind of change it up a bit and just kind of fine-tune it, I guess, at least for where I drive. So I got the program loaded up here. You can get this on the ReveD website. I'll throw up a link so you guys can see where to grab it. And then it is in Japanese, so you're probably gonna have to translate it to download it. But yeah, get this, and then you're gonna need a tuner. Fortunately, Casa Drift has public access to this, so you can go on the computer at Casa Drift and tune your servo if you need it. But if you don't have access, you're gonna have to get your own. You gotta get one of these, which is about $40, and then the software. So we're gonna take the wire from the servo, and we're gonna take that gray wire and make sure that goes into the S section. So I'm gonna go ahead, see if I can get this with one hand. Get that plugged in. All right. So now that that's plugged in, we're going to hit Rsst, and now we have all the settings that come up. I'll put up some notes on screen on what each of the settings do. I'm not going to go too into depth as I've already done kind of 2 videos on what each of the settings are. So you just kind of read the notes, pause, and then maybe adjust from there on what you think. But I suggest trying out stock settings first. And then what I personally like to do is set these to the default Rsst Pro settings, which I will put up on screen and show you the numbers just in a sec. So here are the default settings for the Rsst Pro, which is what I set all these to. And I'd like to thank Mike for sharing the photo of his default Rsst Pro. The Pro I got has all the settings changed, and I didn't feel like changing them back to default to change them back because I changed all of them. But so yeah, once again, thank you, Mike, for that. Saved me a bunch of time. And yeah, so these are the default settings. So once you kind of get the settings to where you want set, you just hit right parameter, and now it's in the servo. Now you can go ahead and unplug it, plug the servo back in, and drive the car. And if you want to save this for future reference, you can do a save file. So I don't think I actually have this saved, so I'm going to hit save. And then I already have it in my Rsst settings. This is just a old map that I've had, but I'm going to label this one, label it Pro Default. So P-R-O, and then if my keyboard wants to work, D. There we go. Sorry, that took a little longer than I wanted to. All right, cool. So I got that saved. And yeah, we can just unplug it and try it out the track, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going to be heading to Casa Drift in a couple hours. And then we're going to drive the car, see how it handles, see how it works. And going to have a good time. One more thing. If you want to change servo trim, you can. I prefer to have it at 0 and have like an adjustable link to get this thing centered. And if you want to change the direction, you can do that too if you don't want to change it on the remote. So that's another helpful thing. And then if you have a RevOx, you can set it to RevOx mode if you wanted to. Alrighty, now on to Casa Drift.
Alrighty, Spencer with the chase cam, following the RD 2.0. Feels a lot better with the servo and gyro upgrade. Definitely a lot more controllable. I do still have the issue of lack of wheel speed, which causes a lot of forward bite in some of the wider angles. So you do need a little bit more throttle control. You still do need a decent amount of steering control as well. But I believe you, if you're really on a budget, you could get away with just doing a servo and gyro like this, and the car will feel pretty decent. Like you could get pretty decent with this without having to get a nicer motor and a nicer ESC. I'm really enjoying how this feels. It feels good, really controllable, as I said. And I'm super excited to keep this build series going and making this car better and better. But yeah, as I drive this thing around, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know. I'll try to answer any. I know I wasn't super in depth on the servo stuff, but you guys can for sure ask me questions in the comments about it. I'll kind of go into depth. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank Casa Drift for sponsoring this build series. Go ahead and check them out on Facebook. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. I don't know if they got it.